Oh boy, do I have a surprise for you. Hey, this is Steve with Entering Into Space. And I figured I'd flip-flop some stuff here and show you an image prior to showing you a new scope video. And what's the new scope? Off camera, on camera, this way. Don't put the microphone. This way. Yes. We're going wide field. Never done it. Got a cool little rig set up, so I'm excited to see what I got. Did a quick little image here of the Cone Nebula and the Rosette Nebula together. It's the first time for me. I've never imaged this wide. So I haven't even seen this data yet. I've literally just stacked it, as you can see. And then these are the rejection frames here. So this is sulfur. Let's check sulfur out here. Very cool. Got to get some DBE or some gradient correction going on, but we got some pretty decent salt. Let's check our stars out. Yeah. Come on, Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe. I am Meridius Maximus. No, Russ Croman. You know what I mean. So, yeah, stars over here. I got a little tilt I got to work on, I guess. Anyway, I'm not sweating it. So there's our sulfur. S2. Let's check out our oxygen here. Wait, stretch. Auto stretch. Ah, very nice, very nice. Jeff Goldblum, very nice. Yes. Oxygen. So stars on this side, a little blocky. This was drizzled, as you can read in the top corner up there. Yeah, got some flaring, glaring, something going on. For first light, I'm pretty happy. So let's rename that. Let's shrink that name down. Shift O 3. Cool. Minimize. And the star of the show, the hydrogen. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, like I said, I've got a total of 13 hours on this. Been imaging it all week and trying to shoot a video on the gear setup. But yeah, it's wide field, so we got some star work to do. I did an auto crop, but I'm not even looking at those images. I want to get everything that I can in there. So HA. All right. There's a lot of work to do pre-stretch, but I think I'm going to go ahead and auto crop and run a DBE on these and get that flat, and then I'm going to save them off in a batch container and do some processing. I'm not should I reduce these? Let's try and reduce one, the size one, because these are huge. These are drizzled out of the 2600 mm, so great big gigantic files. So let's come up here to process, all processes, and we're going to do integer resample. We're going to downscale it. Let's check and see. Oh, that's cool. So that'll help. That'll help the processing speed. Let's do that for all of them. Cool. S2. Definitely a lot of stars. There's got to be somebody out there, right? Good grief. Alright, so let's go ahead and crop these. Let's go to dynamic crop. Let's go ahead and get this little... It wasn't bad. I didn't do too bad on these. Just a slight little edge. Drag that off. Close the tool. You've seen it over 100 times. Drag and drop. And drag and drop. And one more time. All right, so they're cropped. So let's just see how quick we can be with this. And see if I need to do some more imaging on this. That's kind of tough because when I start shooting this, it's pretty much already at the meridian. I get like one image and then she flips. But let's open up gradient correction. We're gonna leave everything default. I've doodled and noodled with all these little sliders, and pretty much leave structure and protection turned on, leave automatic conversions turned off. Let's see what it does. Well, would you look at that? I'm happy with that. HA 03. 03 is going to be tougher, right? Because, you know, it's 03. So you're always going to see more of a gradient in 03. We got some moon out when I was shooting some of this, obviously. It's not too bad. Let's turn on automatic convergence. I still feel like the corners are a little bright. That helped. Minimize. S2. Turn that back off. Yeah, S2's got some serious gradient in it. Let's make this bigger for you. You know, for all you older folks wearing glasses like moi, so you can see up close. Let's see what we got here. Fingers crossed. Yeah, not bad. Flattened everything out. Alrighty then. Let's close that out. So I'm gonna open up my HA here. I'm gonna test an area, especially these stars around the rosette. Man, this is cool. I've never in my life imaged or processed something this wide before. So let's just open up the blur exterminator. Correct. Let's see what correction we'll do. Hat tip, rose chroming, bang, 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 bang. So it's like, do I really have to go out there and jack around with my gear? No. No, I don't. Not really. Look at that. Huh. Okay, so knowing that that's going to make a major improvement, and knowing that I want to do a tiny little bit of star reduction too, let's run these through a batch process here so you don't see me triplicating the same redundancy. Alright, so, oops, let's open it back up. Let's get rid of the preview. So step one to using the batch and image processing containers is we have to save these images now that we have cropped them and run a gradient correction on them. So let's go in here to File, Save As, Rosette Cone. Let's just create a folder called Container. Click in here. We want to leave these as an XIFSF. Yeah, I said that right. We're going to call it HA. The reason that I'm redoing the names too is when you do this batch conversion or batch image container processing on it, it gives it a big old long name. So I don't want to lengthen the name of it any more than it already is. All right. So we can, essentially we won't need these files anymore, but that's fine. We can put them down there just in case something crashes. Crashes and smashes, precious. Okay, so let's right click in the screen here. We're going to go to image container right here. We hit the little plus button by this little folder. We're going to add our files. So we're going to go to that folder that we just made. Call container, highlight them, and say open. So let's load them all up. Output directory. Click that. I think we can just put it in the same directory. So it's just going to rename them and you'll be able to tell. I'll show you. But if we want to separate them out, we can call this new folder and we're just going to call this batch just to be on the safe side. But I'll show you it's probably not a big deal to do this. So batch, select folder. So once we've done that, so we have our files loaded in, got our we've got our output directory. We're just going to drag this instance off just like that. Boink. That's it. And then close that down. Now, these are where our 3 images are stored. Oh, they're behind me. Boink, right here. This is where the 3 images are stored in this little box. So let's make a box of processes. So process, all processes, process container. Click it. So here's where we're going to tell PixInsight what we want to do. So the first thing I want to do, obviously, is a correction. So I'm just going to choose correct. I'm not going to drag that off to the screen. I'm going to drag it and put it in the box. Boink. So that's our first step. Next step is I'm going to reset the tool. I'm not going to try to sharpen the stars too much because they're already pretty small. I'm going to try to do a little bit of deconvolution on the non-stellar data. Let me move this up just a little bit. That's typically where I like to be on just about every image. I don't really need to test it. I'm going to drag that off. Point. So that's step 2 is a deconvolution. Step 3 is going to be star removal. Oh, stop it. So we do want to generate the stars because we're going to combine them in the 4x utility palette. So boink. I used to do some pre-stretch noise reduction, but I'm not going to do that. So step 1, correction. Step 2, deconvolution. Step 3, remove the stars. Cool. So we're going to drag that instance off. Put it beside it. And then it's pretty basic. You just drag and drop. And once you do that, you sit back and you wait for it to finish. And when it finishes, you will see 3 star images. And then you'll know to go in that folder that we call batch and grab your processed images. So here we go. Alrighty. Alright. Okay, as promised, we got 3 star images here, and look at all that they add to the name. I don't know why. Why you do that? But those are stars. Sulfur stars, oxygen stars, and hydrogen stars. So these 2 little guys here, we won't need those anymore, so we can say move to workspace 2. Get out of here. File, open, batch. See. That's a whole lot of passcodes, passwords, pass numbers. Ooh. See, when you pull them stars out, we did pretty good, folks. We did. There's our sulfur, you know? I mean, yeah, I could use a lot more time, but I can't wait. Alright. I'm excited. Look at the oxygen. There's oxygen up in here that I didn't spend enough time on. Wow. Makes me want to keep shooting. Perhaps. Still got a little flare over here. But I'm not really sure. Oh my goodness gracious. Hot diggity dog. Look at that. This is live. This is like the first time I've ever seen this. And I'm not joking. Wow. Wow. Okay. This is going to be a fun little scope during the summertime targets. I've already started shooting NGC 6888. It comes up like 3 in the morning, so I'm like, I just want to see what it looks like. So now I know. It's pretty good. Let me go in here to the oxygen. Let's open up DVE. Do some old school on it. Let's kick up the tolerance to 1.5. Sample generation. I'm gonna look around my microscope, y'all. 100. Yeah, some big old squares. Actually, let's just do this. Let's say we want 5. Ooh. Yep, see, we got some tolerance issues there. Come here, microphone. There. Alright, I got them all. Just kind of move these off of something, anything super bright. Look, we didn't even get one there. Do a little scooching with these boxes being that big. You don't have to scooch too much. Let's add a couple there. Alright. Target correction. Let's just do simple subtraction. Disregard the background information. So we got. Ugh. Yeah. Ugh. Still a lot left there, wasn't there? That took a lot of that gradient out and left me with a lot of noise, didn't it? That's fine. Still not getting this corner though. One more time. Man, I don't know what that is. I gotta figure out what that is. Where is that? Am I missing something? I should shoot way more oxygen. Definitely needed some more, but I don't care. I'm impatient. You get impatient? Leave a comment below. Let's drag that off. Yes. So you can tell the gradient correction tool gives you a good baseline, but it doesn't really get rid of everything. Sulfur. Let's see what it does with the sulfur. Yeah. It's definitely getting rid of a lot. It's leaving you with a lot of noise as well, which can be corrected. But it is definitely getting rid of some of this casting. What do you think? Is this just smooth because it's got noise in it? Probably so. I think I'm just gonna worry about the oxygen one. Get rid of some of that gradient. All right, and hydrogen flatted out pretty good. Not gonna lie, looks pretty tasty. So I think I'm going to use this for my Luminance. I'm going to drag our copy off. Call this Loom. I'm not going to try to integrate those 3 images because the sulfur and oxygen are pretty weak. That's my decision. So before I do anything, I probably want to do... What do I want to do? I'm so like, I have to figure out my new process now because I'm so detail oriented because I'm shooting most of my images up close. So running more non-stellar convolution to sharpen some of this up is probably just a waste of time because you're not even going to be able to pick out those efforts at this scale. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. I think I'm just going to stretch. So we're going to kill the auto stretch here. Open up histogram transformation. Do a real-time preview. Check mark to set the track view. And we're just going to keep surrounding the histogram peak with these little carrots. So our midtones and our shadows, we just want to keep surrounding this and incrementally. So it's getting bigger. It's stretching, it's spreading out the histogram peak every time we do that. We don't ever want to clip in, so we don't want to get past that curve. If you feel like you may, you can zoom in by rolling the mouse wheel back. See right there, it's about where we want to be. I like a little brighter background, honestly. And this guy's, you see we're starting to get some light, but we can drag that in to right about there. Zoom back. Oop, we were zooming way in, didn't we? Yeah, so we don't want to... See, that's reading 0.5. We definitely don't want that to be in the 9s or the 8s. That'd be too bright. So we're doing good. We're still preserving everything. All right, we can close that tool down. Now we're going to introduce some contrast into our stretched image here with the curves transformation. I like my black point right here. I'm going to scan along 0.1. So you see where it's popping up there on the linear line here. So we're just going to pin it right there. Probably pin it again to hold it. And then we're going to look for some of this like right in here. We're going to come right ahead of that and lift. I like to smooth it out by clicking the cubic spline. You can see that kind of smooths that curve out. See, we're still not too bright. If we're really bright, we'd be pinging way up in here. But we can bring it down. We can grab it, maybe right about in here. I'll bring some of the brightness down. Remember, this is just our color data for right now. All right. Sulfur. F12 kills the stretch. What are you doing? Get back online. Histogram. Let's grab our sulfur. That's where these big long names get confusing. Oh yeah, that's S2 and a whole shitload of numbers. Okay. Track view and real-time preview. Again, there are other ways to stretch data. I should probably do a video one day of all the different ways. There's GHS, which you see me use. There's scripts that do it automatically that work fairly well. But, you know, I like to have a little more agent over my stretching. It's 0.1. I think that's a good background. Remember, this doesn't isolate this midtone slider. It's stretching the whole image. So we could push it all the way up in here, but see, that kind of defeats my background purpose. That's where curves comes in. So let's select that. Let's go back in here to curves. Let's check our background again. Pin it. Man, our data's like right ahead of that. Lift. And that's about, let's smooth that out. Okay. Cool. Yeah, this needs a lot of time, but I don't have a lot of time. And then oxygen. Oxygen, I think when I did that DBE, it's so noisy. Let's do a tiny little bit of linear noise reduction and leave most everything default in this one. This is all just color anyway. You're not really trying to grab a lot of details except for whatever the heck that is up there. I gotta do some research. You know, something else I've never done is a mosaic. Somebody should challenge me and said, you can't do it. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I can. Yeah, that's much better. Thank you, Russell. Still got some little bugging me, but I'm gonna get over it, I swear. All right, F12. Histogram, transformation, O3, and lottery numbers. Oh yeah, DVE. Track view, real-time preview. Yep, and surrounded. Yes, surrounded. Whoa, probably too much. Actually, now that we've man, that is so cool. Why have I not done this before? Why have I waited so long to do wide field imaging? Why? I mean, I like being close up. I like my 1000 millimeters, but this is pretty cool. I'm excited. Again, curves. See if we can add a little contrast. So pin it. Pin your black point. We want to look for something faint. Yeah, which is pretty much the same thing, right ahead of it. Ooh, that oxygen's pretty bright. Okay, popping 0.6, 0.7s. But we're still not clipped on the high side. All right. So here's the decision. How do you want to combine this? There's so many ways to do it. So if you want to, bear with me. We'll go through a couple different ways that I'm working on now as far as, I know I have my colorized SHO video, and that's a great process. I'm still not knocking it. It's a lot of work. Anyway, so let's try two methods. Let's combine everything in the standard palette, and then let's use the image blend script. So first, let's just go ahead and open up channel combination. Let's put these in the standard SHO configuration. Sulfur, hydrogen, oxygen. Oh, wow. Okay. And then, yeah, as I predicted, that blue in the background is going to be pretty dominant. Let's go to process, color, calibration, and this narrowband normalization. It's a script by Bill Blanchard. It's really cool. Let's see how this script handles this data. Real-time preview. We want to preserve lightness. We're just going to choose preserve. We're not going to choose one of these two just yet. We're going to preserve the lightness. And we're going to start working on SCNR. See, there goes the green. I don't think we need to do, well, we can do a little oxygen boost. And we boost the S2. So we're getting a lot of magenta down here with that S2 boost. All right. I'm not really digging the background. We've got a lot to fix in here. So that's that way. I'm not hating it. I'm not totally hating it. I just got a lot of color variance in the background to work on. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, we've got some magenta in here. Let's see what happens when we kind of kill that. Let's do image invert. A lot of this low, medium magenta, SCNR. Let's put it down to about 80%. Kill the green. And then go image invert. Yeah, that's better. I can pseudo live with that. Okay. Well, what I'd probably end up doing with this, because I don't feel like I feel like this kind of got washed out. I want some more color in here, but I don't want to just completely colorize all this in here. I would probably do a range mask for the highlights and then try to pull some of the saturation out of the background, but let's just minimize that. Next method. Let's just go in here, open channel combination backup again. This is a little more work. We're going to do the hydrogen for the red channel. We're going to make an HOO standard image here. Stretch it. Stephen Miller. What the stars, you idiot. Why didn't y'all stop me? Y'all didn't say nothing, did you? You sat right there and watched me do it. Stop giggling. Alright. Alright, so that's a standard HOO image. Got a little bit of green we can probably kill off here to kind of get our blues back, but I like that. I'm liking this better. Yeah. I like that better so far. Cool. Let's rename this set image identifier HOO. Now Atom Block has that script out color mapper that would be part of the next step for this. Yeah, you can see that's where all that magenta was coming from. And I don't know if that's being this wide. I'm not familiar enough. That could be false signal. Let's see if the gradient correction will work on that at all. Even after a stretch, see what it does. Yeah, that did help. I don't like that tool, going back to the Atom Block tool, because unless I'm just not using it right, it doesn't seem to mask out the background. It tries to color everything. So I'm going to kind of cheat on this one just a little bit. And I'm going to go here and process. So it's kind of back to that colorized version I came up with. Let's go ahead and convert it to an RGB. Let's open up ACDNR. And we're going to create a lightness mask for this. So midtones down, shadows up, highlights down, makes everything darker. So we're trying to separate out just the signal that we want to color. Yeah, see, we still got a lot of false signal down here, I think. Not really sure. We're going to be really picky with this. Down a little bit more. Yeah, we really want that. We're just trying to, again, we're trying to surround this. All right. So you're going to close down the real-time preview. It says, I'm not done yet. And I said, yes, you are. We're going to make a copy. And we're going to drag and drop. Cool. So see, not much. This is our, what do we call this? So we know what it is. S2 mask. Not mask, a little all mask. It's pretty noisy. Data as well. Let's not bring that into the final image. Let's go ahead and go to noise reduction. Again, remember, this is not our details. This is our color. And what's going to ultimately happen if we start bringing in a bunch of additional noise, we're going to have a lot of chromatic noise to clean up at some point in time. Much better. Okay, let's take our mask, apply it to the image, and we're going to invert it. And we're going to say mask, show mask. Cool. So I want this, because right now, what do we got? We got red and blue. So we want yellow, or a orangish yellow type version. I'm going to use curves to achieve that. And then we're going to blend that. We're going to blend this sulfur colored version in. So red. Remember, when you add color, you're adding lightness, so you got to balance that with bringing down the green and blue. And the best way to get the yellow is this B component here. If you pull it down, it's blue. If you push it up, it's yellow. So let's just select that. Let's do it one more time. Like that. And if you feel like you've got a little too much saturation, you got that old saturation, you can add some luminance. That's going to brighten it up. So add a touch of red. And bring down the blue. That's pretty close to what we're looking for. It's color, people. It's all personal to you. I'm just showing you what I do. Alright, mask, remove. This is our image. So let's just call this S2 color. Alright, so this is our HOO, so we're going to come here to script, utilities, and the image blend script. Highly recommend it. Let's reset it. The first image is going to be the HOO. It's going to be your baseline image. Second image is going to be what you're masking in, which is going to be the S2 color that we did. And your blending mode needs to be screen. We're screening this in. And that's pretty cool. You can see it's pretty bright. So we're going to bring the black point down. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Yeah, I like this much better. So bringing the highlights down is actually going to introduce more of the sulfur. And bringing the midtones up is going to actually bring in some more richness or color. And it's actually going to reduce the background color some. Bring the black point up just a little bit, darken it up. Yeah. And you have an opacity. You can slide all the way down here and you see pretty much did nothing. So how much of that effect do you want? That's kind of the opacity slider, just like in Photoshop. All right. Check mark. 13 hours in Bortle 7. I'm pretty happy. Yeah, this is much more controllable, you know, color-wise. If you feel like you want to add, I like the GHS saturation. What we can do though, so we don't mess up our background, is open up the range selection, do real-time preview, bring up the lower limits. Yeah, till you're seeing. See all the stuff in here? I don't want to color that, do I? I think that's nebula, but I'm not sure about this. Let's smooth it out. Something like that. Which is weird. That's not what I selected. How crazy are we gonna get with this? How crazy you want to get with this? Do you really want to apply a bunch of color down there? I don't know if I do. Let's go in here to curves. Let's work on our mask a little bit. Yeah, we just want to really color the highlights. I mean, the image already has a bunch of color in it. And I'm going to be very picky in front of you. I'm going to actually clone stamp out some of that corner in there. Big old brush, 100. Control. Oh, stop it. And wait, I want to adjust my opacity down, increase my softness. I want to increase the size of that too. Yeah. I'm just kind of stamping out. Control. I know you're like, Steve, just do it. Don't do all this garbage. But this is like live, people. This is what we do. So shut up. Yeah, we just want to focus color on the nebula itself. Alright. I'm not going to get too crazy with that. I am going to blur that just a little bit more. Convolution. Upper standard deviation. Yeah. Cool. So this is going to be my mask to apply. So now you can see this is just where I'm adding color. That's all I want. Mask. Show mask. GHS. Real-time preview. Saturation. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Man, I'm excited. Like, I really am. Remove the mask. So we didn't really jack up too much stuff there. I think I want to do a little contrast on this image. Make it a little contrasty. Let's bring that down a little bit. I don't really have to try to do too much more. Yeah, that's cool. You put 35, 40 hours into this, it's be a great image. It's in my skies. Right on. All right, this is our image that we're going to use for color. We need a luminance to apply over that. We can smooth out and help. You know, we're always working on our chrominance noise. And one way to do that is with the convolution tool. Real-time preview. Let's just do a lower slider. And we're just going to blur it. Blurred. Okay. So you can see we got rid of a lot of that chrominance noise just doing that. It's almost like a what do you call dust and scratches filter in Photoshop. Kind of does the same thing. So this is image blend. Let's put it right here. Some mask. Let's move those to workspace 2. Let's open up our loom. Our loom is linear, unstretched. So again, back to the process again. Histogram transformation. Loom. Luminance. Real-time preview. Track view. Surround it. cool. Now with the Luminance now, I'm probably going to do, I am going to get a little bananas and do some more non-stellar deconvolution. I'm going to do some noise reduction before I apply it. You know, that black point right about there. There we go. Oh, I wish the oxygen and the sulfur were as smooth and predominant and strong as the HA was. God, our images would be glorious. Yes. Okay, curves. We have a little brighter back point, black point. Yep. Bonk. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, we're like right ahead. Let's bring that back down. Right ahead of it. Yeah, we're still doing good. See, less than that, how it kind of gives you a little more definition. Always check in your high side, make sure you're not clipping. Not. For instance, if this was the Orion Nebula, this thing would be off the chart already. So let's do a little zoom in. Let's zoom in like right there. Let's open up Blur Exterminator, reset the tool. Obviously, we don't want to sharpen any stars. Sharpen non-stellar. We're going to move that down. We don't want to get too crazy with that. We don't want to really jack with our image too much. Yeah, see before and after. It's doing something. Not sure how much of that you're going to see. So let's push it down. We don't want to get too crazy with this because it's so wide field. But we do want to kind of sharpen it up. I like doing this without the stars and then sharpening the stars by bringing them in pretty small, as opposed to trying to do it all at one time. You know, I've already run deconvolution and correction on the stars, so this should be pretty good. All right. And then last thing is noise reduction. I'm going to leave it set to 90%. I'm going to run 3 iterations on it. Oh my goodness gracious. I am loving it. All right, that is pretty cool. But guess what? Like, it's cool looking, but that oxygen dude is in here somewhere, and this HA may kind of mess that up. You know, I think in hindsight, maybe I should have accumulated these 3 in like an image integration kind of format and redone it. But not gonna worry about it. But there definitely is a different signature up in here. I gotta investigate that. You'd think I know. All right, Luminance. So it's blended in. So back to script, utilities, image blend. We're gonna do a comparison too. I'm gonna show you another way to put this back in. Let's reset the tool. Now, remember, baseline is gonna be our color. So that's gonna be our image blend. Where you at? Image blend. Here you are. There's our color. We're going to be applying luminance over top of it. So we want our loom. This time we are going to set the blend mode to lightness instead of screen. And there you go. Ooh. Sorry. Let's see if we can get just a little bit more dynamic with this. Nope. Yeah. Keep adjusting these sliders. Man. Well, that's a pretty good color. I like that. But again, my little oxygen signature has kind of been swamped by the HA. You can see how not this mid-tones, working it back and forth, changes the background values. Okay. All right, here's our image. Starless. Whoop. Right on. There's a lot of cool stuff to look at in there. That is pretty impressive. Sam Yang, you've impressed me. All right, so let's call this final. Actually, we gotta call it Starless. Let's just call it Starless right up the front so we can put our stars back in. Lowercase s's, Starless. Right there. The other thing we can do is, this is our color, right? We can open up our color image. We can open up the channel combination. We can set the integration to CIE lab. Turn off the A and B. Take our luminance, drag it in here, and then apply it. Doink. I mean, the image blend script definitely gave us an ability to kind of work on a little contrast real time. This is our image using the image blend script. I don't know. To me, I think this second version has a little more color. What do you think? I'm going, I feel like this is a little more washed out. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Set image identifier. We're just gonna Starless 3. I don't know, something different. I think I like this one. I think I am going to use that mask that I had over here in workspace 2, which was not this one, this one. Nope. Not Rain Man, this one. Move it back to workspace 1. Apply it and add a little bit of saturation. What do you think? Curves. We're just going to use our curves to add saturation. Yeah. Add just a tiny little bit of luminance to the image. Okay. And then we can say mask, and we can invert the mask. And we can grab our RGBK and just ever so slightly bring it down. Gives you a little contrast. Pops the image. Pop, pop, pop. All right. Now, we've got a lot of great signal here. Not the best as far as strength because it's just a short integration time, but I do not want to obscure it. I mean, we've got all this in here. This is just phenomenal. It's the first time I've ever imaged this portion of the Rosette Nebula. Usually I'm like right in here. So in order to salvage this, and when we put the stars back in, you're going to be like, eh. You're looking at this now going, ooh, look at all this. And you put the stars and you're like, yeah. So what we want to do is, no potential spam. I don't want to talk to you. Let's make a mask to kind of mute the stars. And I like the ACDNR tool for that. Real-time preview. And I don't want to, I don't want to do something like, wow, like that. And like this, I don't want to do something like that. That's way too strong. Reset. I probably don't even want to push the highlights down. What I want to do is I want a really weak mask. So you see the rosette? It's about, no matter what I do, I can't get it any weaker than that right now. I probably could if I did something different, but you see like the cone. So what's going to happen in these areas here, the mask the stars, when they get put back in, they'll be muted in these areas where they'll be more full strength in these areas. And that'll allow this to kind of show through. And the stronger we make this, the more muted the stars are. God. So again, pull it over. All right. And we can apply our mask. And let's right click on the image, say mask, and let's say show mask. So you see, I'm basically masking out these portions. This portion, the stars will be stronger, I guess. Show mask. And now I have to rename this Starless for the tool. All right, so let's just minimize that. We got to put our stars together. And again, you know me, I like the 4X utility palette. Thanks, Polyman. Unfortunately, I have to blend in the images too, so we're gonna do something weird looking. And this is just throwing them in there just so the tool works. Let's do color. HA social security number. 03 social security number. All right, S2 stars. Go for that star image. HA stars and 03 stars. Execute. It actually turned out a pretty cool image there. A lot of oxygen. Hey, look. I'm gonna save that just for the heck of it. Doink, doink. All right, these are our stars. SETI Astro has a pretty cool star stretching script, and that's what I think I'll use. Let's use it. Utilities, actually SETI Astro, star stretch. You could just do this in any version. The stretch amount comes default to 5. I want nice little tiny stars, so I'm going to push that down to like the mid 3s. I'm going to boost the color. I like that feature. Let's kill any green that may come in there too, and hit execute. So, ooh, did that too quick. As you can see, the stars are there, but they're pretty small and they're pretty blocky. It's about the best I can do with drizzling. So let's change the name to stars. Very important. All right. Let's move that down there. Starless. And open up our star screen. Pixel math tool that I made from the Star Exterminator. Screening. There it is there. So this just screens the stars back in. Boink. Yeah, see it? See, I've got star field in there. But stars within the nebula itself are fairly muted. So now the last step, if you haven't seen before, we are going to remove that mask, minimize the image, open our star image back up, and these stars here in the rosette, I want to highlight. Those are the stars within the core that got muted. I don't want to mute those stars. I don't want to mute any bright stars. So let's open up GHS. And we're just going to check and see how much we want to stretch them. Just a little bit. All right. If you had some really big close stars, this would be more pronounced, but something like that. Just stretch them just a little bit more. Just a tiny bit more. Same image, stretch. Cool. I think you got these bigger stars in here. So let's open up a range mask, range selection, real-time preview. Keep pushing this down somewhere in there. Let's smooth it out. As soon as you do that, watch. See, now you just see your big stars. Them big boys. And these are the ones we want to highlight. So the more you smooth it, and again, it's balance. You know, we've got a mask here. We've got some of these stars here that are going to show up more. A lot of these background stars aren't. So I like that mask. And one more thing I can do to the mask, I can open up curves. RGBK. I can bring that down even more. I can find out where's my bright point in here for that. See what I'm doing? So now you can see, like, these are the stars we're going to bring back in. We're going to trick our eyes to think that those stars are closer and give us a perception of depth. So minimize the image of our stars, slide that mask that we just made, open up our Starless image again, and then drag and drop. Okay. Open up the star screen tool again, and then apply. And you're like, what did it do? I know, it's so wide field, I can't really tell. Yeah, you can see, like right here. This is before, after. See what all the rest of these background stars, they didn't really pop. Just the brighter ones did. And especially the stars here in the rosette. See that? They're kind of back on. But they're not overpowering the image. Remove. I think we could use a tiny little bit of contrast. I'm just really excited. If you can't tell. We don't want any saturation down low, but we do want it on the high end. Pretty excited about that for just the amount of integration time we've had in it, which isn't much. All right, let's run this thing over to Photoshop and put some final touches on it. You're like, oh my God, I'm a purist. I stay in PixInsight. Well, cool. Thanks for watching. Clear skies, clear minds. We're going to Photoshop. Peace. File, save as. We don't leave it right in this folder. Starless, we want to change that to a TIFF. Okay. And open up Photoshop. At least I think we're going to open up Photoshop. Jesus. All right. Open. New volume. 2600 Samyang. Is that cone? Container. Starless. Right on. Got a little bright corner down here. Not gonna fret. Got a little blue corner up here. Let me boink. Yeah. See, we got some blue in here. So let's do a color. Select color. Color range. See if we can't fix some of these corners. That blue. The blue. Right about there. Let's go in here to select a mask. It's kind of where we got a little too much blue. Let's feather it. And hit Control J to move that up on top. And we'll come here to image, adjustment, hue and saturation. Blue, we're going to just desaturate the blue. Maybe make it a tiny little bit darker. We can also do that to cyan. Desaturate a little bit. Boy, you can't tell. I can tell. You can't. It did help. Merge down. So let's do another sample point, like right in there. So you can see our background levels are reds at 36, reds at 30, greens at 36, blues at 40. I like a background that's in the mid to low 30s evenly. So let's go over here to image, adjustment, levels. I'm going to leave the red. I'm going to actually boost the red just a little bit. Move that up to like 32. I'm going to take the green. I'm going to clip it. I always like it being below. And then that blue, we're going to clip that blue down just a little bit. I always like my image to be a little positive on the blue side. So that's, you can see how we have that blue overcast? No, we don't. Yeah, this could use a lot more time, but I know you're like, shut up about it already. Just freaking enjoy it. I think I'm going to filter that just a little bit. Add a little bit more blue back in. Yeah. Merge down. Let's make another copy. We're going to filter, camera raw filter. I love this. We're going to get some, what are we trying to do here? Go to the basic tab. We're going to add some vibrance. Dehaze it just a tiny little bit, and then add some clarity. Not too much. It's probably way too much. Yeah. Oh man. And then let's add some Orton glow to it. See how that helps. Go here to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, blurred. Change the blending mode to, look at that. It just looks cool. I don't know why. Change the screen. Go here to image and say apply image. Yeah, see how it just makes it have this like dreamy effect? That's way too much dreamy effect. Slide it all the way down, bring it back up. Not much, but just enough. Cool. Merge down. Yeah. What do you think? I mean, this is not a zoom in kind of image. This is a kind of a grand scale kind of an image, but yeah, man. I mean, yeah, man. You know. So let's do file, save. I'm just going to save it. File, open. Let's open it back up. And Pixel site. Yeah. Blink. Reset it and push it over here. See what you think. Yeah, you can definitely see that blue overcast that we kind of got rid of. I'm sure there's a lot more nebulosity back here. God, what's talking? We can, if we want, to see if we can recover a little bit of detail in the rosette. I mean, it's definitely not lost. It's pretty bright though. I like that. But we can open up HDR multiscale. We're going to do 2 intensity, set it to 8. See what it does. It may just make it look like garbage. What did it get rid of? Yeah, that wasn't bad actually. What do you think? See, here's where I wish PixInsight had a filter in it to kind of, I could get 50% of that would be really good. It's like either take it or leave it, punk. I think I'm gonna take it. Yeah. Cool. Well, that's it. I mean, for my first little image here with this telephoto lens, I'm pretty excited. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, and stay tuned for the how it was made. How was this made? What did I use? I have a whole new video coming out that's taking me a bit to shoot because there's a learning process. There was some huge mistakes made that I'll share, but should hopefully have it out very soon after this one. All right. Anyway, I'm excited. Hope you are too. Clear skies, clear minds. You know the drill. Peace.